The ocean is not as calm as it appears. Underwater currents tug at Alexander's legs. The underwater tow is amazingly strong here. It pulls ferociously at Alexander's legs. Before Alexander can retreat, the current grabs his legs. The shifting sand vanishes from beneath his feet. Against his best efforts, he is dragged out to sea. The currents around the island pull Alexander under. As Alexander struggles to the surface for the third and last time, he finds himself wishing he'd paid more attention to the warning signs of an undertow.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Nothing like getting swept off your feet. Long ago, in the castle of a kingdom called Daventry,
Alexander, here you are. Oh, you're still not thinking about Cosima, are you?
I suppose I am.
Son, it's been months. You've got to pull yourself together. After all, you only met her that once.
I know.
Have you discovered anything about the land of the Green Isles?
No. No one's even heard of it. It's like she's just vanished.
I wish I could help. Please try to think about something else, dear.
I'll try, Mother.
Alexander, I feel so alone. I don't know what to do. Alexander, I wish you were here. Alexander.
Cosima! Wait! Mother! Mother, come quick!
Alexander, what on earth? You're white as a ghost.
Mother, I saw Cosima. She was in the mirror.
In the mirror? The magic mirror?
Yes! And it showed me how to find her.
How?
The stars! I saw the stars outside her window. I can navigate by the stars.
Oh, Alexander, if you really go...
It will be all right, Mother. I promise.
Prince Alexander sailed the known seas and beyond.
Land ho! Land ho! Land ho!
turns to night and the sea turns violent. Alexander awakens to find himself on an unfamiliar beach. For a moment, he is too dazed to remember how he got here. Then, he does remember. The shipwreck, the sea. Just as he had seen his men safely into the lifeboats, a gigantic wave picked him up and tossed him overboard into the churning sea. That was the last he'd seen of his crew. Debris from the shipwreck is scattered along the shore, but of the lifeboats and his men, there is thankfully no trace. He can only hope and pray that the lifeboats survived the currents, and that his men made their way safely back to Daventry. The ocean is not as calm as it appears. Underwater currents tug at Alexander's legs. The sand is warm to the touch. Alexander has no need to carry around large rocks. Alexander has no need to carry around large rocks. Alexander has no use for the ship debris. Alexander picks up his royal insignia ring from the beach. The sand is warm to the touch. Alexander has no taste for salt water. Alexander has no wish to disturb the green plants. To take the path, Alexander need only walk down it. Alexander sees nothing particularly interesting there. An old beggar is peddling his wares in the village.
Good day, peddler.
Good day, sir. If you would like to get one of my fine new lamps, I'll need an old lamp in trade.
Isn't it a rather bad business? Taking old lamps and giving new lamps in exchange?
Well, there's always a chance that I'll find a genie. If I had a genie, I'd be richer than a king. Besides, there's always a roaring business in antique luminaries.
How fare you, peddler?
Lad, Have you an old lamp for me yet?
A large round pot is one of the pottery pieces on the... There's a battered wicker chest in front of a shop. The sign says pawn shop.
Old lamps for new. Old lamp.
Good day. The pawn shop is too cluttered and dusty to poke around in efficiently. The back wall of the shop holds various odds and ends. For example, a hole detector for finding those hard-to-spot holes. Towering mightily over the other pawn shop curiosities, the stuffed bear makes an ostentatious display. The land of the Green Isles must have at least one inhabitant with interest in the mystical, for a crystal ball has been traded in along with the more common household goods. Alexander takes a closer look at the items on the counter.
I see you have noticed my mechanical nightingale. The flute is only made of... Have you an interest in tinder boxes? This one is only slight...
I'm interested in that tinder box on the counter.
What do you desire to give me in trade? The items on the front counter are all of equally slight value, worth only a copper or two. They are handy items nonetheless.
Good day, merchant. Can you tell me what land this is?
By the moon's light, what a question! You must have been out too long in the sun, or perhaps knocked your head upon a rock.
No. Well, perhaps. I was in a shipwreck, you see. My crew and I were trying to reach the land of the Green Isles. I think, well, at least I hope, my men got away safely in the lifeboats. But I myself appear to be rather stuck here.
Ah, I see. You must pardon my incredulity, but it has been so long since we have had a foreign visitor. You wrecked your ship, young traveler, due to the currents and reefs around the islands. If your crew was wise enough to steer clear of the isles and head home, they should be fine. In any case, you have met your objective, however bumpy the journey.
You mean, this is the land of the Green Isles? Oh, thank the heavens! I had followed the stars, you see, and I thought I was close, but...
The stars? You must be quite a sailor. But what is the purpose of your visit?
I come for... Well, I mean, I hope to see... I met some time ago.
Say no more. You are smitten with a maiden, are you not? What other than love could so confuse a man's tongue?
I'm afraid so. It is Princess Cassima.
By the desert sands, when you fall in love, you do not mess around, do you?
Is she here?
This is the Isle of the Crown, young man. The castle of the Crown stands on the hill. If it is Cassima you seek, that is where to look.
The castle of the Crown. Thank you, merchant.
And good luck to you, lad. You shall need it.
Hello, I will be right up. Now, what can I do for you?
An old man occasionally steals sidelong glances at Alexander from under a concealing hood.
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man just ignores Alexander.
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man just ignores. Alexander rests his feet for a moment. Alexander picks up and leafs idly through a book called The Changing Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages. Well, that was refreshing. Alexander picks up the book from the small table.
Oh, yes, please, take that book. You have my most humble thanks for doing so, good sir.
Really? Thanks. How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I obtained it from the estate of the one and only magician this kingdom has ever had. Poofed himself into an aardvark in the end, or so I heard. I never found the spells all that useful myself, but then I lead a boring life. I tell you what, if you can find another rare book, something a bit more marketable, I might be willing to exchange the spelled book for it.
Good day, sir. I'm a stranger in this...
That is quite a question, young man. Who are...
My name is Alexander. I know I'm on the Isle of the Crown, but I'd like to know whatever you can...
You are indeed a stranger. Anxious is that this island is called the Isle of the Crown, because the royal family's castle is... There are at least 3 other islands. The Isle of the Sacred Mountain, the Isle of the Beast, and the Isle of Wonder.
At least 3? Does no...
This is no ordinary land, Alexander. The land of the Green Isles has always been a place of vague boundary. Legend speaks of a 4th island. Then, too, the land of the Green Isles is said to exist on the boundaries of this world and the next. Even darker places are reputed to be closer here than anywhere else in the world.
That's quite a claim.
Claim, yes, but probably just look.
Those first 3 islands you mentioned, how might I learn more about them?
Ideally, a young man seeking such knowledge would travel to... Unfortunately, the ferry no longer runs between the islands. Perhaps the ferryman can tell you more. And if you haven't been there already, you might seek an...
Thank you kindly, merchant.
Ah, but advice is free.
Alexander can't do anything with that part of the village. There's a young girl in the yard. The girl is dressed in a long, plain orange robe with a thick headdress. From the appearance of her clothes, and from a skittish, fearful look about her, Alexander gets the strong impression that she is a servant, or even worse, the serving girl appears to be stealing a quiet moment tending the rose.
You lazy thing! Get back to work and stay away from those roses! You've still got to do the breakfast dishes, make lunch, and clean the stables yet this morning! And get your veil back on! No one wants to look at...
Yes, stepmother.
Alexander is greeted with silence. Alexander doesn't want to intrude on private property unless he's been invited. Alexander has not been invited to pick the family's roses. There's no reason to touch that. There's no reason. The palm trees are beautiful, but neither climbable nor obtainable.
Hey, stranger, come join me. The water is wonderful, and I can show you the way to the next island.
Good day. I'm Alexander. What are you doing in the sea?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm swimming. I mean, Come join me. The water's wonderful. Come on, jump in.
Alexander can't see any way to hold a conversation with them. Considering the poor condition of the shore, it looks like the easiest way to get into the water is just to jump off the pier. The powerful currents grab Alexander. Struggle as he might, he feels himself being pulled out to sea.
Not a very good swimmer, are you?
Help me!
Sorry, I think not.
As his head submerges for the third time, Alexander finds himself pondering the wisdom of going out on a limb for a stranger.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Alexander couldn't handle those currents. That boy must be an unbelievably